Welcome to The Real in Real Estate, your gateway to the source. I'm so glad you're here. We're all about diving into the nitty gritty of real estate, sharing insights, tips, and some awesome interviews straight from the industry's beating heart. From the latest trends to cool investment strategies, we've got you covered. Let's explore and uncover all the essential tools and knowledge you need for navigating the ever evolving world of property and housing. Here we go. Hi, welcome back to the Real and Real Estate Podcast. Today we're going to do something a little different. It's just me. I wanted to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart and I think will be very helpful to anybody in sales, but especially the new agent starting out or an agent that's been around for a while and just seems stuck and is looking for that little extra boost. So I really believe in this. This is a book that I wrote right here. It's called Steps to Success, Top Producer Steps to Success in Real Estate. I just got this published. It is for sale on Amazon. Shameless plug there, but it is. This is something that I think will be helpful to everybody. When I first started out in the business, it was 2008. We all know what happened in 2008. The bottom fell out of the mortgage industry. Lots of things changed. It was a mess. And people said, "What in the world are you doing in that business at this time?" And I said, "Well, I have nowhere to go but up." So that's exactly what I did. And when I got to my first brokerage, they asked me to hang my license with them. I was very lucky. It was a wonderful brokerage. I got my desk. That was back when everybody came to the office and you got a desk. And I sat down at my desk and I remember thinking, oh my God, what do I do now? So I had an idea. There had been about 4 or 5 of us that started at the company at the same time, and they had a little training class talking about contracts and that sort of thing. And I went over to them and I said, "Hey guys, if I can get some of the top producers to talk to us about what they did right when they started, what they wish they would have done, what they wish they hadn't done, maybe that'll help us get started. Would you be interested?" And they said, "Of course, yes." So I gathered up my courage and I went to a top producer in the office and told him, "We would really like to pick your brain. I'll buy you coffee. We can meet at Starbucks, wherever you want to meet, and find out what you did when you got started that you thought was so helpful, because we really need to know how to do this." And to my surprise, they were very excited. They said, "Yes, absolutely. We'll do that." So that's what we did. And then every month I would invite a different top producer to the same thing. And we did this for several months. I've learned so much. I still use their advice to this day. It was invaluable. I mean, who else to go to, right? Someone that's already done it. It got around the office that I was doing this, and the owner of the office came up to me and I thought, oh my God, am I in trouble now? And she goes, "What's wrong with me? Why can't I sit down and talk to you?" She goes, "I'll buy you all lunch." I said, "This is fabulous. Please do." So we got to sit down with the owner of the brokerage, who has a successful brokerage, has been in the business a long time. And she talked to us and she did feed us lunch. It was wonderful. So we got lots of helpful hints from her. So what I decided was, if this worked for me and my other fellow agents, why not work for everybody? So this is it. This is the book. I've interviewed 20 top producers in the city and given their helpful hints. And along with that, I've inserted some things that I love, which are quotes, motivational quotes. I talked about my journey a little bit and why this book. But for instance, I want to tell you, the first person I went to was a gentleman named Tim Surratt, who's still in the business and still very successful. And he's the first one in the book. And he tells us how he got started. He was brand new to the city. He knew no one. He had just moved here. And I will give you that story real quick. What he decided to do was go to breakfast every morning at the same place. And he did that. He did that every morning. And eventually people were like, "I see you here all the time. What do you do? Who are you?" Blah, blah, blah. He got to know people. He got to meet people. People started having coffee together, eating breakfast together, and he would get business. And that's how he started his business. So I thought, okay, I don't eat breakfast. I probably should, but I don't. Anyway, but I do coffee. So I started going to Starbucks every morning. And I would have coffee, and I was so shy. I'd sit there with my computer and I'd look up once in a while. Eventually, I got more courage. People would stop and say, I see you here all the time. What are you doing? So I'd tell them what I do. We'd start having conversations. They'd come in every morning. We'd started sitting together. Everybody would, and we had our own little group. I started getting business. I still to this day get business. I still go to Starbucks every morning. I still tell my agents to do this. I just tell them, don't go to my Starbucks. You can have any Starbucks in the city, but not mine. Bottom line, it doesn't have to be Starbucks. It doesn't have to be breakfast. It means you do something the same every single day in a group that's meaningful to you. People will get to know you. Word of mouth. It works. I'm living proof. He's living proof. Well, he's not the only one in the book. I have many top producers in here and they tell their stories. I know one agent in a meeting, I would go to all the meetings because I was thirsty for knowledge and success. And she goes, after every listing appointment, I send flowers. And I thought, oh my God, how easy is that? I don't have to do anything except a phone call. So after every listing appointment, I sent flowers. I still do that today. And I have gotten every single appointment that I went to for listing. And I sent flowers, except one. One I didn't, but everything else I did. People are impressed. And one lady goes, hey, I'll list with anybody that sends me flowers because my husband doesn't. It's like, okay, we won't go there, but thank you. I'm glad that works. Many of the other agents talk about getting involved. It's very important to get involved in an organization. If you love cooking, a cooking school. If you love to play mahjong, do that. If you love to volunteer at the local SPCA, do that. Get involved with something, meet people, but make sure it's something you're enthusiastic about. Make sure it's something that's important to you because one, you're spending time doing that. You should enjoy it. And two, people will see, they will know if you're not sincere. So do that. Get involved with your local real estate organization, your MLS, volunteer for something. You're going, why? They're realtors. They're not going to let me list their house. You know what? Maybe they don't work in your area. Maybe they don't want to work in your area. You get to know them. They might refer you something. How wonderful is that? Or vice versa. You've got to meet people, whether it's a client for buying and selling or another agent. Plus, you need to get back to your community, your real estate community. That's very important. One gentleman used to always provide hot dogs at his son's sporting events. That may seem unusual, but my goodness, it worked for him. He was there, he was contributing, he was providing value. He wasn't going around, hey, I'm a realtor, here's my card. I'm a realtor, here's my card. He was actually providing value. People want to know people, all right? And they want to know good people, and they want to know people that are friendly and happy. So keep that in mind. There are so many helpful hints in this book. People that have been in the business forever. I don't even know how to tell you. Education is a big theme throughout this book. I have many designations behind my name. Some people refer to it as alphabet soup, but it was my way to learn, to get information, to feel confident about what I was doing. The first thing I did was get my GRI, which in real estate is Graduate Realtor Institute. It satisfied my CE classes at the time, and I got a designation. I was a brand new agent. I had letters behind my name. People didn't think I was new, and I wasn't going to tell them. But at the same time, I learned so much. And the more that I know, the better I can serve my clients. The more that I know, the less problems we will have. That should be the theory anyway, if you pay attention to what you're doing. So education is a big theme throughout the book. Most of this is client follow-up and client appreciation as well. It's one thing to meet someone, but if you never follow up with them, why in the world should they call you? And even if you've done a deal with them, 2 years from now, they're not going to remember you if you don't send them birthday cards, if you don't send them house anniversary cards, if you don't invite them out for a coffee or an ice cream or have a client appreciation event. These are all things that you need to be doing and you need to be planning. Have a plan, have a goal, ask questions. Okay, I was surprised how many top producers were eager and flattered to sit down and talk to me. So get the book, read the book, find out what they did, talk to the people around you that you know are successful. My goodness, one person in here, Frank Gray, he's written a book. I included his book in my recommended reading section, and he was very helpful and very excited to help. Find out what his thoughts are. It's all in this book. What else can I tell you? I also have a podcast, as you know, that's in here. We talk about that. I have a recommended reading list. I talk about follow up. And let me mention that. I've mentioned it once, but let me mention it again. Follow up is so important. You can't be lazy on this. It is very important, no matter what kind of job you're in, or whether it's sales or just being a good friend. Follow up. Write down their birthdays. You don't have to ask them for the year. Don't insult anybody, just the month and the day. And every year on their birthday, I send them a card. Not an email, not a text, which if that's what your person prefers, do that. But I actually send a card. I think we're coming back to a time where we do things, I want to say old fashioned, but it's really not old fashioned. One of the people that I met in my journey is Martha Turner, extremely successful woman, built a gigantic business, one of the most prestigious in the entire city, and we've got a big city, and ended up selling her business to Sotheby's when she retired. That's how good she was. And she told me one time, you've got to hit them where they ain't. Okay, what does that mean? That means if everybody's sending a text and an email, you better be writing a card. You better write a card that says, hi, how are you doing? I've been thinking about you. Happy birthday, happy anniversary. It's been 2 years since you bought your house. Are you still loving it? Do whatever the other people aren't. Hit them where they ain't. That's something else to remember. So go back to writing the cards. Go back to sending a card. Go back to making a phone call. Go back to having lunch. One person said you should never go to lunch by yourself. Always take a client with you or somebody new. If you've met someone new, say, hey, let's go have some lunch. This is how you get to know people. This is how you build your business. But it's not one and done, folks. You have got to follow up. You've got to keep them as a client. One of the things that I think is so wonderful about this business is I have made so many real friends from this. We still get together, and it's as a friend, not even as a client. But I can promise you, I've done 7 deals with this one person that turned into a friend. And we're friends to this day, and we're very close, and I love it. And she recommends me. That's not why we're friends. We're actual friends. And I would be friends with her no matter what business I was in. So there are a lot of perks, a lot of advantages to this. But you have to be a people person. You have to learn how to talk to people. And trust me, that was not easy for me at all. You just have to make yourself do it. You have to make yourself get up every day, get dressed, get out. You can't be a secret agent. You can't sit at home and expect business to come to you. Provide value. Let them see you. Let them know you. Always learn, always get involved. If you're serious about your business, ask questions. People are really willing to help. So, to finish, again, here's my book, Top Producers Steps to Success in Real Estate. It's a really good book. If you're getting started, it's a really good book if you've been in the business. These are top producers. These are people that are successful. Find out what they did and how they did it. I think you're going to find this invaluable, and it's going to be worth your time. It's an easy read, and everybody's different in the book. Find out what works for you. Not everybody's going to want to go to Starbucks every morning. And like I said, please don't go to my Starbucks. Not everybody is going to want to handwrite a card. Then get somebody to write it for you. My handwriting's terrible. I have my daughter write them. I'll tell you that. There are lots of ways to make things happen. Get the book, read it. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks for tuning in to The Real in Real Estate, your gateway to the source. Be sure not to miss our upcoming episodes loaded with fantastic insights, expert tips, and all the latest trends in the property scene. Don't forget to stay connected with us on our Trilogy Realty Group socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and even TikTok. Until next time, take care.